Hello, my friends. I hope you're having a beautiful spring day. As you can see, the wind is blowing and it is very calm, peaceful, fresh energy going on today. And I was feeling like, what can I do a little different? Um, if you see the camera moving, it's because of the wind. So maybe it's not as calm as I said, but that's okay because, we have Uranus and Gemini, and we have a lot of energies that are kind of lifting us up into new frequencies. So, not going into astrology, but I want to go into how to use a pendulum. So, I haven't shared this, but I use all types of divination tools other than just cards. I have little astrology dice, and there's 3 dice, and then they're all lapis lazuli crystals, and they all have different astrological symbols. And that is one way that I'll use them in a divination. So they'll have like the planets, they'll have the signs, and then they'll have the houses, and then depending on how they fall. That's an area of life that you could work on, or one could work on. So maybe I'll go into that at another time. But today we're going to do the pendulum. So this is my pendulum, and when you're looking for a pendulum, you want to find one that wants to work with you. So there's a couple different ways that this can be decided. Of course, I always say what you're drawn to is really important. So for seeing what type of crystal you're drawn to. Is it a quartz? Is it a lapis? Is it a citrine? Maybe it's this one's a lapis lazuli. It could be a sodalite. It just kind of depends on what you feel. And then once you find one, if you're looking in stores versus like online, you can always go up to it, connect with it, maybe put it over your heart chakra, and kind of see if you're getting a yes or a no. There's other things you can do like muscle testing, where you can see if is this a yes, and if it stays and stays stuck, and your muscles don't give out, usually that's a yes. If it breaks, usually that means it's a no. That's one aspect of it, because our muscles respond to like what is in resonance with us. They strengthen with the things that are in alignment with our being down to a molecular level. There's also another test where you can like be standing, let me see, like this kind of, and then you can ask, is this right for me? And then like if you kind of just allow yourself to be neutral, and like if you go forward, that's a yes. If you go backward, that's a no. And there's other ways too. You can hold the crystal. So a lot of times when you're working with the pendulum, you can hold the pendulum, and back and like forward when you're facing it means yes. Side to side means no. Also, another direction is clockwise is yes, counterclockwise is no. So if we ask a question like, do you like to work with me? And then the crystal is going back and forward, right? So another way to connect with your pendulum or any crystal is through breath. Breath is underestimated, but breath is the evidence of life. Breath holds your genetic blueprint and structure of your manifestation on the planet. So if you close your eyes and you breathe into the crystal, it's kind of a way of saying, hello, this is who I am. And you can then, if you're still in the process of picking the crystal, then you can basically, after you do that, you can ask, would you like to work with me? And see if it's a yes or a no. Then once you choose your crystal and you get it home, you can always do like a little bit of purification, whether you put it in salt. Now, if it's a selenite crystal or any of the kind that dissolves, you don't want to put it in salt. Also, there's other crystals like malachite that you don't want to get in your water or get really in salt. certain polished malachite's okay to put in salt. Raw malachite, no salt, no water at all. And malachite, just as a hard rule, never any moisture around it, because it gives off, when the water touches malachite, it can make a toxic combination. So, but if it's polished, you're usually pretty safe. So once you get home and you're working with your pendulum, of course, you can do a purification, like I was saying, with salt. You can do it with smoke, Palo Santo, sage, dragon's blood, frankincense, myrrh are all wonderful combinations of herbs or herbs. What am I trying to say? Herbs or modalities of purification. You could do, like I was saying, if it's okay to put in water, you can do like a salt water cleanse. You can do a moonlight bathe. You can do a early morning solar purification. You could do a sound purification with sound bowls, and you can ask the light of spirit or higher presence or God, goddess to purify this crystal and prepare it to work with you. You can set your intentions around what you want to use the pendulum for, whether it's divination, whether it's just everyday life, if it's just something really specific that you're only going to use this pendulum for. So it just kind of depends on what you would like. Now, people can have multiple pendulums. I only have one because I only feel I need one, but you can have multiples. I love lapis lazuli because it connects to the third eye. It helps to see beyond the seen world. And nice little tidbit of information about it. The queens of Egypt and Samaria used to wear a lot of lapis lazuli in their regalia, and just as they move through life. So, keep that in mind for what you'd like. So, if you'd like to learn a little bit more about it, or learn to utilize it in different ways other than kind of what I already said, please feel free to let me know. I can dive in a little bit deeper with you with that. I'm super excited to hear your comments or your questions, and I hope you have fun with your pendulum. Wishing you a beautiful day. Oh, and remember to clear it after you use it. You can do as simple as, may the light of spirit clear this pendulum, purify it, neutralize the energy within it so that it is ready to be utilized in my next question or my next use. And may it be blessed and loved. And you can always send it a kiss or a blessing. All right, sending you so much love.